Welcome back to WCI-TV, sponsored by Tower MSA Partners. I'm Amy Sweezy, and joining me now, my next guest, Brook Rosenbaum. Brook is from Gradient AI. Thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here, Amy.
So first of all, I know you're relatively new to Gradient AI. Tell me what you do. What's your title?
So I am the general manager of our property and casualty business.
Okay. And what does that mean? What do you do?
That's a good question. So, at Gradient, what we've been trying to do is use AI, specifically machine learning models, to solve some of the largest problems facing the workers' comp industry. So what I try to do is look at those problems from a very high level, look at our capabilities, our assets, what we're really good at, and try to bring them all together to solve those problems, right? So when we work with our clients and they identify pain points that they have, I work with our teams to figure out what's the most efficient way for us to build solutions for those problems.
So in your experience, what are you seeing as the biggest challenges?
I think the industry, workers' comp industry in particular, is going through a lot of changes, right? You have a lot of new data being brought online. You have medical costs going up. You have an increasing amount of litigation happening. You have adjusters that are aging out of the industry, and a lot of this is creating both some challenges but also some opportunities for carriers, for TPAs, for pretty much everybody in the industry. So some of the specific pain points that we've observed are helping carriers figure out which of the claims that they're experiencing are going to be the expensive, protracted claims that are going to be the hardest for them to deal with and are going to be the most expensive for them to handle, that'll be on their books for a long time. So can we identify those claims very early in the life of the claim and address them with getting the claimant the care that they need, the support that they need to get back to work as quickly as they can?
I think there's still a lot of people that get nervous as soon as they hear the word AI, right? It's hard to adopt, or you're scared. What do you say to those people?
Look, I share some of those concerns too, right? I mean, I've got kids and they're using AI to do their homework and all of this. But what we're using AI for at Gradient, you could think of this as math on steroids. What we do is we build models that pull in lots of data. When I say lots of data, I mean 10+ million workers' comp claims and every little bit of transactional data associated with each one of those claims and each of the claimants involved in those claims. And we use those claims and that data to build models that help predict the trajectory of injuries, so that if a person slips and falls on a shop floor, if somebody has an accident with machinery, if somebody has a shoulder issue, a back issue, we can predict where that claim is going to go, how that injury is going to develop over time, and what treatments will respond to that injury most effectively.
Can you give me some examples of different uses for AI? For instance, you mentioned, somebody slips on a shop floor. Well, if 5 different people slip on a shop floor, I have to imagine that that's 5 totally different situations.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really remarkable about it is that those 5 people might look exactly the same age, same gender. The injury itself might at first glance appear to be the exact same. And it might even look pretty benign. And in fact, for 2 of them, maybe they're going to be back at work the next day after they've taken some painkillers and some ice. Another couple might be out for a week and then be back at it. And another might require surgeries and be out for 18 months. And it's really, really hard to know at the outset of those injuries which one is going to be the really expensive one. And so that's what we use AI to do. We use AI to examine all of the data associated with the claimant and the claim and the injury to help predict which of these claimants are going to have the more challenging outcomes.
And what do you say to the companies, the people who you're hoping to adopt this technology, and they say, oh, but it's too expensive?
Well, I tell you, you can think of a few different ways. If you try to treat all of those claimants as though they're all going to be the expensive claimants, that's very expensive. But more importantly, if you delay care, if you allow a claim to slowly develop over time, you run the risk of not getting that claimant the treatment that they need early enough to really head off what could become a very expensive claim. If you get somebody to physical therapy, if you get somebody involved with a nurse, if you get somebody involved with the treatment that they need earlier, and you demonstrate to that claimant that you hear them, that you understand their situation, you can reduce the likelihood of litigation. You can shorten the life of that claim, and you can get that person back to work as quickly as possible.
What does the future hold?
That's
Where do we go next?
Yeah, Amy, that's a great question. I think there's going to be more and more data being brought online. As technology advances in the space of AI, it's also advancing in medicine. You're getting a lot more information out of what's happening from orthopedists, from occupational therapists. They're capturing a lot more data, which just creates more opportunity for us to leverage that data. And when I say us, I don't just mean Gradient. I mean the entire industry, to get people the care that they need faster.
What is it that you have noticed about being at WCI this year?
Well, so this is my first time at WCI. It's really a dynamic place. I've loved getting to know people. I'd say for me, the most important part of coming to WCI is the opportunity for candid discussions with our customers. It's a great opportunity for them to share feedback with us in person, and to have problem-solving discussions about what their pain points are and how we can try to address them. And also to meet new potential customers, to, again, try to understand what are their challenges, what are the problems that they have in their business, how can we help them? And, it's been like I said, the candor and the open exchanges we've been able to have been great.
All right, Brook Rosenbaum, Gradient AI, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Amy.
All right, this is WCI-TV, sponsored by Tower MSA Partners. I'm Amy Sweezy. Thanks for watching.